Who's gonna make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Second.
Alright, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
We need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Make the motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Alright, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, we've got public forum here. Anybody wanna speak?
Go ahead.
I received a letter from Woods regarding my property again. And the letter is not written right. I talked to the commissioner, he hadn't even received the letter yet. The commissioner Joe Ginger. Aside the fact that the first letter wasn't exactly explaining where everything was supposed to be. So they were thinking, when I read this letter to them, they were thinking the drainage in front of my house, since it's got regarding Maria Show's property. So it's got to be written a little better and more of a description of where it is. It's not around my property. I don't know why Woods got it this way. It's not a redo because it said he never did it. So it's got it all turned around, and I don't know what redo has to do with it because there's nothing for them to redo other than the project that St. Mary's didn't finish, which is the 2 gutters or the 2 drain ditches on both sides on the neighbor up the hill. So that's how it has to be explained to the commissioner, and let him know that it's not my property. It has to do with the 2 drain ditches above my property. So again, I don't know why they didn't get the letter. You sent me one. The commissioner never received his. Mine is dated November the 18th.
I went to their meeting and handed it to them in person and talked to them.
They didn't get it at all.
I handed it to Gary Nelson and put it in his hands.
Well,
So
you must
yes,
have not given it to Joe.
they were all 3 there. Randy Bartow and Gary.
Joe said he didn't get it.
You know, I was at the meeting, it was an open meeting,
So,
and I personally handed it to him.
David, can I just ask this question
Oh, yeah.
for you? So, at the meeting before last, when Marie was here, we wanted to set the issue straight. You know, we had already decided that the city of St. Mary had done about as much as we could do, but we
Correct.
wanted to support her efforts to get the county to help.
Correct.
And they had not received a letter at that point, they had said. So we wanted you to write another letter and address those 2 issues that Marie's talking about, so that they would know where to look and to come out. And I guess they wanted our approval to let us know that, or to let them know that we're aware of her issue.
Correct.
What date was that, the letter
That I
that
received.
you received? Yeah, the letter that you received from Dave, the cop.
On November the 19th.
So it was November the 19th. So around the 19th, the St. Genevieve was notified with that letter around the 19th?
Yeah, I mean, after the meeting, because I got the exact verbiage that you guys wanted in the letter, I put that in the letter, and then as soon as I had
And
it,
then did you?
I had it
That's
typed up, I had the mayor sign it when she came in
Sure.
next, and I took it to a commissioners meeting, that was an open meeting, and I handed it to them, and we discussed her issues.
Okay, what date was that?
I don't know, but they have the letter, so, you know. And the county commissioner basically said, they can't just come in there and start working without any type of direction. So they said they want a representative from the city to come and tell the county exactly what work we want to be done. And they mentioned that they want to have they want to have Frankie Ullman, you know, do the work. They know because they know him, you know, from the firefighter. And,
They told me no today.
No, why?
No, that Frankie couldn't. I explained to them that since they offered their equipment, I explained to them that we had someone that was eligible to do that. And they said no. I said, so will you loan it? And he goes, no, we'll probably do that, but we will need their help.
Right, and they need some direction.
Right.
Should we have an alderman supervise the situation and,
Somebody who knows the road department,
yeah,
and knows the issues with the drainage.
that would be, yeah. Because I think we need to take the issue over,
Okay.
and we need to have representative of the board. We asked, and we felt like they had received a letter, as far as we know.
Yeah, I don't know why
Maria-
it was signed, because it says redo, and I don't know what you're redoing.
Well, we haven't had any communication from them to us, but I'll tell you this, if we take control of it, we'll be there, and we'll have one of our city employees with an alderman,
Yeah.
and we can walk over that issue with you, and then we'll get with the county, and we'll address it.
Just let me know what time and what date.
Is that something we can do?
Joe Kenninger's our local one.
Rose will get a
Rose will
hold of
get on it, and thank you very much for coming
you.
in.
You got my phone number, don't you, Rose?
Yeah, I know.
573-543-5300. Yeah, if you come just today ahead of time, and I'll be there when you need to see
Okay.
me.
I'll see if I can.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Okay, anybody else want to speak?
Frank Gerardo, 497 Immaculate Conception.
Hey, Frank.
And I just wanted to say that we don't want a rate increase. And I know that's always been the board's motion to take care of the money problem, but it's not that we pay too little for water. You guys are spending too much. You need to trim your costs. You need to look over how you're spending the money, what's costing what, and what we're getting our money's worth for. And the 0.5% sales tax, I say no, don't vote for it. Get it on the ballot, because if you don't, then people will be able to say, hey, let's go to St. Mary and get gas because it'll be cheaper than in St. Genevieve or other, where they're probably gonna raise it tonight. And we wanna attract people here. We wanna establish a better relationship with the public in general, that we wanna get them to come to St. Mary for items, whether it's just fueling up for gas or coming to the Bader's place for food and drink, we want to attract them here. We don't want to raise the rates like everybody else. We need to keep low profile and make ourselves look appealing, because people have invested their life savings into their homes, and they're not thrilled with their water bills. Nobody thinks they're paying too much for their water, and anytime they hear they're talking about a rate increase, they're getting fumed, because personally, I spend about $80 a month buying bottled water and bagged ice, on top of paying $100 a month for our water bill comes to with 7 people in our house. And it's just hard to deal with. So we want to not punish the citizens for the board's inability to run a sufficient budget and show a revenue. We're not getting any profit in the sewer, and I don't think we ever have, even before we hooked up to St. Genevieve. And just to keep raising the rates on the people isn't the answer. And you just need to look at where your costs are, what you're paying for what other municipalities nearby are doing, and compare them.
I think I'd like to speak for our board here. Frank, we appreciate you coming, and we appreciate your experience in the city as an alderman, and your insight in what your knowledge about sales taxes and things, and we're on your side. We don't believe that we should be increasing taxes unless we have to, and we certainly don't want to increase the water revenues. And we have a special meeting this month just to address those issues, especially the water rate area. And our charge in our next meeting is to try not to increase cost on our residents, but to reduce them by managing our payroll and our budget for the city better. And that's what our meeting is all about this coming month. So if you don't mind waiting for a couple of weeks until after this next meeting, you see what we have planned to do. But in no way are we looking at advancing any taxes on anyone unless we really have to do it, and the water rate issue we're going to address. Thank you.
Is there anybody else want to speak?
Yodi Odom, 42 on Fifth Street. I have a neighbor that has very frequent traffic up at his house, visitors and everything. And several of the visitors decide that my yard next to the street is a parking lot. And I went out there and I told them, my yard is not a parking lot. They haven't parked there since. And I talked to Tim about, even if I have to go out and buy the signs myself, putting up signs, no parking between signs, violator will be towed. Is that something that I can do? If so, is that enforceable?
You can put up signs on your own property, you definitely can.
Okay.
Check it out, but I know that you can do that. And if they're parked where you've got a no parking sign on your property,
Right.
then yes, Tim can remove them, give them a ticket or whatever.
Okay. He wasn't completely sure about that, and I just
Yeah, I
wanted.
didn't know if you needed to try to pass a city ordinance to put up a street sign That way
It's
it's
not
in
a
the book
street
and
sign,
everything.
he's getting no parking on his personal property that has nothing to do with the street sign.
Mayor, can he put on there that the automobile can be removed at the owner's expense? Is that something that Tim's talking about?
That's what I'm talking about.
Do we need an ordinance for that?
We don't need no ordinance, if it's parked there and there's a no parking sign,
Yep.
they're disobeying the law.
So we.
But if it's my sign,
It doesn't matter, it's on your property,
Yeah, that's what he's talking about. So you can have the car removed.
yes.
okay.
That's anywhere that you park a vehicle that's not supposed to be there, it has to be there for 24 hours, then
Yeah.
they can do
It's
something.
like right now, I got a four-wheeler that's been parked on my property for over 24 hours.
But you haven't got it posted yet,
No, I haven't posted yet,
no.
but, you know.
But you know who it belongs to?
Yeah.
Here's your first
I
about,
know,
I
I
would
know
say
who's
a
in
suggestion.
possession of it, who legally owns it, I don't know.
I would suggest that you go to that person and ask them kindly right now, say, you
Yeah.
know, this is my
Oh,
personal
yeah.
property, you need to remove that from my property.
Okay. All right, thank you.
And I think you can also get them signs that says will be towed.
Right, I've
Yeah,
been
so
looking
you
on,
can-
I've been looking on eBay at
Yeah.
signs and, I mean, I'd be willing to pay for them myself if,
Well, if you put them on your property, you have to pay for
right,
it.
okay, no problem.
Okay. Now, is there anybody else?
We just have a few questions for you, Ms. Mayor. We are moving to 804 Fourth,
And so what's your name?
Connie Pritchard.
Hi, Connie.
We also were gonna open Nash's discount store here in town,
Right?
but the building wasn't suitable enough for us, if you understand where I'm going
Right.
there. But, we are having outer buildings put out there like sheds that we're wanting to make into like rental places that you can rent for the night or whatever. And we wanted to see if the board would be forward for that or not, or they could just be used as sheds, period.
Well, may I speak on this? I think that we've always had ordinances about portable sheds. Of course, you can have a portable shed if you go with our collector and get a permit for portable shed, and you put it in a designated area that's approved by our city water department and our officials here that know where you should place them, so we're not covering up anything important,
Right.
sewer lines or something like that. And all you need to do is, of course, level them and put them in a stationary position, but you're not going to be able to use them for housing. We have to have a housing unit approved by an inspector, and I believe that's our collector. And houses have to have certain standards. I'm sure we have to have bathrooms and things like
Right,
that.
I
And it
plan
has
on
to
doing
meet a
that.
construction code, and I'm not qualified to talk on that issue, but could you talk on that, Annette?
Well, for one, they brought them in without a permit.
Okay, well,
They're
Yeah,
gonna have
they're
to-
there right now.
well, you'll need to get a permit then, and this is the,
And they're gonna have to be moved.
Yes.
They are gonna have
I done told them they probably would have to.
okay.
Yep, you got them over a sewer discharge line, for one, for sure. Instead of it did 1-800 dig right off the bat.
Well, they want to hurry and bring them in, and we
Sure.
weren't ready for them.
Well, we're glad you're here, and I think if you go ahead and follow the directions that we just set forth, and that is to get with our collector right away and get a permit, get those buildings, get with our officials, our city employees, and move them off of whatever they're blocking, and then after that, set them up properly, then you can start with a shed.
Okay, and then there's a right-of-way, is that over there by us? I'm gonna say,
Used to be a
used to be a road at one time. We wanted to know if we could have access to that, it's all grown up and stuff, and our barn's like right by that road.
You know where the trailer is, where they got that thing?
Yes.
It's right there. Maria's house is here. Go up this way, it's right here.
I'll have to look at that.
It,
It's pretty much.
at
grown
one
up.
time, there was a
It
driveway
went all the
off
way up
of
on
it
the hill.
that went right to that barn.
I think it was an easement, or it's a property that's always been there as part of our plat, and you can work with Alderwoman Rosenwig here, she can check that out for you and go from there.
Okay. Because one thing we did ask the inspector here,
Yeah,
and she went to 2:30, and she said bring it up to the board.
sure. Do you have a telephone number for Connie?
No, do you know a telephone number?
573-513-3463.
3463.
Connie, are you living in St. Mary's yet?
We are waiting to finish up on an inspection right now,
Okay.
And yes, we will be here as soon as the inspection is finished.
Okay, great. Well, when you get to where you're looking for, putting something in more permanent for the little cabins or whatever you like, you need to bring back in writing what your plan is, and, with approval with the driveway area and approval with the city with the permits, and we can talk about what you might wanna do and what you might not be able to do.
Okay.
How's that? Okay?
Sounds
Yeah, 'cause
fine.
I don't have a clue. I
Sure.
just
He's clueless.
have been for a
Thanks for
while.
coming in.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody else for public forum? Want to speak your call and forever hold it. So it looks like it's done, we will go on. Unfinished business is for our department internet, and we decided to do that. So we can go on. New business is public water supply district rate increase.
Do you wanna talk on that, Dave?
Yeah, I got this email from them. They are raising the price of our water that we purchase for every 1,000 gallons by $1 for every 1,000 gallons. That's a 17.5% increase. They did the exact same thing last January, raising our rates by $1 every 1,000 gallons. At that point, it was a 21% increase. So we've had two major increases in the price of the water that we buy in the last 2 years. We thought I'd let you guys know what we're dealing with.
What's happening?
Yeah, so 17%'s a lot.
Yeah.
That's a big amount. And we're having to put together an ordinance for approval for the rate increase? Is that how that works?
No, they're
Oh,
gonna,
yes,
no.
does it?
Who's gonna do it?
What's happening?
Our bill in February is gonna have an increase on it, so I mean, we have no say in it. Their board decided to do that. And not just us, I mean, all their customers.
Oh, okay.
But we are their biggest customer, so it affects us.
Across the board.
The last time we had a rate increase, I figured it was gonna cost us an extra $7,000 a year, so this will cost us another $7,000 a year.
So, we have this special meeting coming up. What day is that on, the time?
January 24th at 6 o'clock.
We wanted to move that meeting up to 5 o'clock. Is that possible?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't sent anything out.
Is that good with you guys?
Yeah, I think they talked about that also.
I'll make that note.
No.
Okay. I was wondering why.
They decided, I think last time that the fire department didn't need the internet, wasn't that what was
No.
decided?
Sewer
Sewer plan, I mean,
Sewer
sewer
plan.
plan.
Need it.
Yes,
The fire
right,
department,
we're gonna get it for the fire department.
yes,
We are gonna get
Yes,
yes.
Yeah.
it. Okay, can I get a motion on that?
That's good. I'll make a
my
motion.
mistake,
Okay,
sorry.
that's cool. Can I
I'll
get a
make a
second on
motion.
that?
I second it.
All right, all those in favor of internet for the fire department, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
See, they didn't take the meeting, so don't feel bad.
Cool, all right.
Okay. Down to bill number 948, an ordinance to put the tax on the pallet. It's, get your tongue in your mouth. It's 1.5 now, wanna raise it 5% to make it 2%. Is what it's about.
And now, so the deadline for getting on the ballot's the 15th?
Correct.
Okay. And have we identified, is this something that we're wanting to do to cover a particular cost, or is it something?
The thing about sales tax is it's not designated for a specific thing, like a capital improvements or something specific like that. The state allows you to have your sales tax for municipalities up to 2%, so this would bring us up to the 2%, which would be our ceiling at that point, and right now we're just at 1.5. Missouri Engineering was here talking about what we're gonna talk about next, for the sewer project. And I was mentioning how I'm taking a lot of money out of general every month and putting it into water and sewer. I transferred $5,500 just last month into sewer, just so that I could, our checks didn't bounce. So they said, well, if your general's gonna be running dry because of water and sewer, then you might want to think about raising your sales tax and get more money in the general. So I'm thinking, okay, well, and this is something that the voters decide, not us. We decide if we're gonna put it on the ballot for them to decide.
Sure. Well, we want to be able to, let the public know that there's reasons why, I think, and what we want to be able to use the money on. And Mr. Gerardo was just here talking about fiscal, responsibility as a city. And I think as a governing board, we are united on trying to put together a balanced budget. And we're united on working on our meeting this month to see what we can do to bring things more in line. I agree at this point that we probably need an increase. because perhaps we haven't been managing our budget as well as we could have in the past. And, you know, borrowing $55,000 every now and then out of our savings is, eventually that well goes dry. So it's gonna be, our effort this month to try to work on addressing this issue. I think that this time I'd have to say that we need to put it on the ballot.
Okay.
And, I'd make a motion to do that, and let the citizens vote on that, right?
All right, okay, so you're gonna do a motion for a first reading?
Yeah.
Okay, can I get a motion for a second reading?
Yeah, motion for second reading.
Okay. Oh, roll call vote for first reading. Alderman Brian Helms,
Yes.
Alderman Rose Rosenzweig,
Yes.
Alderman Cody Myers.
Yes.
Who did I miss?
Me.
Oh, sorry. Alderman Jennifer Weiss. Weird, okay. First reading of Bill 948, an ordinance of the city of St. Mary, Missouri imposing an additional half-cent local sales tax to our current 1.5% for a total of 2%, and providing for submission of the proposal to the qualified voters of the city for their approval at the general election called and to be held in the city on Tuesday, April the 2nd. Okay, I get a motion for a second reading.
Make a motion, second.
All right. I get a second for a second reading. Anyway, all right, Alderman Brian Helms,
Yes.
okay, Alderman Rose Rosenzweig,
Yes.
Alderman Jennifer Weiss,
Yes.
Alderman Cody Myers.
Yeah.
Okay. Second reading of Bill 948, an ordinance of the city of St. Mary, Missouri imposing an additional half-cent local sales tax to our current 1.5% for a total of 2%, and providing for submission of the proposal to the qualified voters of the city for their approval at the general election called and to be held in the city on Tuesday, April 2nd, 2019. Okay. Can I get a first motion for approval of Bill 948?
First motion improvement.
Okay.
Second that.
Second that, all right. Roll call vote for approval of Bill 948.
Brian?
Alderman Brian
Yes.
Helms, Alderman Rose Rosenzweig,
Yes.
Alderman Jennifer Weiss, Alderman Cody Myers.
Yes.
All right, Bill 948 passed.
Okay, this grant proposal for sewer project,
We turned in this grant last year. DNR came and talked to me and Frankie about it. We talked to the SEMO Regional Planning Commission. They helped us put it together. They put this thing in through disaster funds because it was to replace grinders that get flooded every time the city floods along Second Street there. I got an email in your packet. They're not gonna, they denied it through disaster funds, but they said that we should try again through Missouri Water and Wastewater Review Committee. That's coming up in April. So we're just gonna resubmit this thing again. Our match on it is very minimum, and Missouri Engineering was gonna fix it to where we wouldn't have to pay anything. We could just remove our own grinders, and then that would be in kind as to our part of it, so it wouldn't cost us anything. And we get like new grinders along Second Street, which are from the 80s.
did they have any reason why they refused to take this one to another?
They just didn't think it was like a disaster type of thing, you know.
They ought to be around here.
I know, they should have been here, so.
Okay, we're ready for the department report.
Okay, I got the new numbers from Southeast Missouri, SEMO, or SEMA, for 2019. They're pretty much the same as last year. If the state has damage from a disaster of over 8.9 million, then that qualifies the state. If we have any projects damage in any specific item, which includes emergency response, of 3,200 or more, then we would qualify for funds. So we can turn in paperwork to get reimbursed for our efforts. So anything over 3,200, we're good. Our county's local hazard mitigation plan expires on October 7th, so there may be meetings I'm gonna have to go to help get our part as far as St. Mary's, what our capabilities and what our threats are. And then I'm participating in a webinar on January 23rd on hazard mitigation plan, which should help with those things. And that's what I got.
Okay, fire department, Brian Allen.
I'll, dovetail that over to our fire chief.
We had 7 medical calls, 1 motor vehicle accident this month. The other thing is too is we got with Dave on our conservation grant. We went ahead and pulled the money out of the fire funds through the city because we had to have a PO and they needed a check for the new pump. And we're gonna get the conservation money and pay our half back into our fire account from the fire department. The other thing is too is still kind of working on the carburetor deal. I know there's a big old mismatch on that. The carburetor itself, it's got a governor in it, and nobody just works on them. And I've asked a few people about it, about working on it, and they said with the governor, you gotta take the carburetor that's on there right now and actually get it redone, rebuilt. And there's only certain companies that actually do that. And the one company's in Chicago, which was the $400 and something. Joe and I still kind of trying to get paperwork on that. Anyways, and stuff. It's kind of hard to get like he said on the phone to us, it's hard to get it's a bottom dollar, but they can't really do nothing, as in saying if something else is wrong with it without being there. So the mechanical wise of taking the pump or taking the carburetor off, we can do that ourselves, which that's going to save time, money for us to do it as in-house, and then sending it off. The other thing is like I said, there's these companies that works on these, like we called Holly, the actual carburetor company that built the carburetor, and they said that they do not work on them because the reason why, it's for a fire truck. It's not just a regular car carburetor or a truck carburetor. So I was just letting you guys inform you on that, of what's going on with that. If I get some information here, if we can get it sent or whatever, I'll let Brian know, and then he can call whoever, let them know. The other thing is we're going to be putting the chains on because this weekend on the fire trucks we're going to be for the snow, so, and stuff like that. The other thing, we got some training coming up. They're a later month here for the MU. Anyways, they have some training starting to come around. The other is FirstNet. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it. We got a guy sponsoring AT&T. He's coming down the 30th for FirstNet. He's gonna, if anybody's got fire emergency response, has AT&T, he's gonna show us how we can actually get involved with that. Because what FirstNet does is turn around, if we have a disaster and there's a lot of phone traffic, we're going to be the first ones to be able to get on the phone, not the public. Anyways, because it's going to go directly through the system. So he's going to come down and kind of show us how that works and what we need to do and how it all involves. So if you guys want to come up the 30th at our meeting and actually see how that works and stuff, you guys are more than welcome to come up. You know,
what time's that meeting?
We start at 6. Anyways, on that one, because he's coming and I don't want to hold him up for a long period of time because he's from Farmington, and if, you know, as long as the weather plays out right too, he'll show up because he's supposed to call me a couple of days beforehand to let me know, as long as the weather is not vital or anything. So other than that, that's all I have. Trucks are running fine except for the one. Anyways, I kind of and that's the other thing, if we take that truck out, 42 is probably going to go along with it because I don't want that truck to shut down on us and not have a backup. So both trucks are probably in town is going to go, and if we get an out of town call, we'll probably take 42 just to be on the safe side on that because I don't want our truck to shut down on us. So I'm not saying it will, knock on wood, hopefully it don't, but I just don't want to take that responsibility, guys being in a house and turn around and decide it once it's shut down and no water. So anyway, but we're still looking in on the carburetor deal, and I understand the point of black and white and 3 bids, but sometimes 3 bids, it don't happen when it comes to certain equipment. So
that's right. You don't know exactly what the final.
Yeah, well, he told us what it would cost to rebuild. Now, us sending our carburetor to him, one, he's using all parts still, you know, like the housing and all that, so it might be cheaper. And with $500, I was just trying to give a leadway, you know, that way, if it costs us less, well, that money still sits in the funds, you know, so. And I was trying to give the high side, so that way, you know. But yeah, I mean, we're still working on that, so anyways, as soon as I get that all taken care of, I'll let everybody know, and we'll go from there to get a truck fixed. And then after it gets fixed, between you guys, I need permission to turn around and get it retested for ISO, which that's gonna cost us, you know, for an additional, recheck of the pump and, you know, the testing. I don't know how much it is, I'd have to call Sentinel and ask them how much it is to retest it. I don't think it's as much as it is testing it like they did, but, we have to have that showing it passed. That way ISO sees that and we get our points for it, so.
We'll put that fire out when it comes.
Yeah, so, anyway, that's all I got. If you guys got anything for me, so,
Thank you.
alright.
Okay, we got the police department. What you got, Tim?
Hope you use my phone for the email, because the computer wouldn't stay on long enough to print it out. We had 64 calls last month, including an alarm that was going off at the church, Immaculate Conception. And so I went in, cleared the building out. I guess it was a worker who was putting up the wreath and all the pews. I guess they just didn't hit the alarm button, cut it off when they went in. And one animal call. And assist with EMS, where we're up at Marion Cliff and they need help lifting a patient. And a fall, and 2 disturbances, and an open door that I had to look into, and then C&I driver who was heading down 61, but I guess they turned before they reached the city and never came through. And there was some debris in the roadway that I had to clear. There's some mud coming off of a tractor tire. Coming off in pretty big clumps. And St. John City updated all their tasers, and they said that they'd be able to supply me with one along with some extra charging units as long as I'm able to get certified in it. So I'm gonna pick up the taser and everything tomorrow morning, and then whenever I finally get around to taking the class, I think the next one for Mac is 3 months away. So I'm gonna see if Jeffco might have one sooner, and then be able to start carrying the taser.
So now these, do they charge you for these trainings for those, or?
The training for the class will come out of the training funds.
Okay.
There's a lot of, I think, 500 a year, I think it was. But the tasers and everything will be completely free.
Is that it?
Unless they have anything for me.
Thank you, Tim. Jody?
They worked on 4 grinders. All of our water samples and everything else came back good. But we do need to send Frankie off to get his water license though. We don't have nobody to back that up at all. So we need to look into that to see when those classes are to get him sent in. That's about it.
Okay. Road, street department.
Just a couple things. We've got the guys working out with me to come this spring. We're gonna be patching some streets. We've got some pretty big issues that we've got to, I don't wanna say potholes, but there's some pretty big chunk ones there. They probably half your car. So we're gonna look into getting some bids to have them come in and patch some of our streets. We have to wait till spring, a little bit closer to spring, when it's a little drier, I should say drier, a little warmer. The other thing is with this weekend coming up, the guys got the truck ready to go. And so just be on call, they'll be on call whenever it's time to go out if they need to.
Okay,
I have a question for Rose about the snow coming up.
okay.
Teachers work, teacher day off, yeah.
No. Is this this snow look like it's gonna be a bad snow?
They're predicting it, because 3 to 6 is what they're saying, and possible some ice.
So we have a snow route through town, I guess, right?
Yes.
Our Main Street then?
Yes, and they try to get,
Marion
the,
Cliff?
Marion Cliff, yeah, Marion Cliff, the hill going up there and around that area, so.
Marion Cliff, Churchill, Tracy, you could tell probably.
Well,
better
normally
than that.
it's Marion Cliff because that's a job.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
where people works, and plus medics gotta get it.
right.
The other one is the snow route, and then the other one we take care of right off the bat is the fire department. So,
Yeah.
anyways, as soon as them 3 are done, then we go and actually start hitting all the roads. With this snow, actually, the way they're calling for it for 3 days, I mean, there ain't gonna be no cinders down right away. So unless you're having really trouble time, we'll throw cinders, but we're not throwing salt behind it. The other thing, because we don't wanna waste the material, because we're gonna be plowing, let it build back up, plow again, so it's gonna be a continuous thing, so.
And they're calling for some ice accumulation with it too, so we've got to kind of play it with the blade on the truck. You know, we've got to make sure there's something there to absorb it
Yeah,
and not just scrap it down to the, so we've got to kind of
but folks are gonna be able to get out of here.
They should.
Right.
They've been doing a pretty good job, so.
If they know how to drive.
Unlike the little incident we had over the last weekend, that was kind of shocking there, so.
They think they can still go 80 miles an hour on snow and ice or rain.
I do that all the time.
It does if you know how to drive.
Yeah, but most of them don't. Okay, animal control,
Don't have anything?
citizen, and park and cemetery.
No, nothing.
Okay. Does anybody else back there wanna have anything they wanna say? Either one of you guys back there? Citizen participate. My tongue keeps getting wet. Citizen participate. You don't got something to say? Okay. Then, I think you guys know what to do. You got anything?
Well, we just have one other thing we wanted to ask Dave for, because of our next meeting, if we change that time to 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and there's 3 issues we really want you to help us with. One, we want to get as much information about our water revenues, our water revenue numbers, our water revenue shortfalls that we might have financially, you know, as far as taking money in and paying out. We want to know what those numbers are.
Oh, I've already started.
Yeah, and that's gonna be a very important thing. We wanna move that meeting along as fast as we can. That'll be one of the first things. The other thing is we would like to get our employee status, our employees, each one their statuses, how long they've been here, what they do, and what they make, and what our payroll is for regular time and overtime on our budget annually. We probably have that information already, but we just wanna have that specifically on one sheet
Want
separate
it all
from the budget.
printed up?
Yes, ma'am. And then, we wanted to talk a little bit more about that, you talked about a clerk position here. Remember?
Oh, court clerk.
Yeah, court
Yeah.
clerk.
Yeah.
We'd like you to be able to, we want to better define that position and know what we need to do or don't need to do to be able to meet those requirements or whatever. We don't need to talk about it tonight, but go ahead and just give us as much information on that as you possibly can. So those are the 3 things that we.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later about that. I've got something
Sure.
I'm working on for
All
that.
right, that's good. But at the next meeting, can you have those 3
Oh, yeah.
topics?
Oh, yeah.
And what was that meeting date again?
24th.
5 p.m. And that's it for me, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, okay then.
Make a motion to
Make a motion to adjourn.
adjourn.
Second.
A second.
All those in favor say aye.